What's up, everybody? It is your boy Kid Smooth from the officialwegamehere.com, and today we are talking games because that's the name of the podcast. Um, if you guys are noticing, E-Rock is not here right now, but I'm pretty sure he's going to hop in sometime between now and before we hit the end button. But for those who are here, we're welcoming back Jay from Drop Dead Interactive, my right-hand man. Hopefully we get him permanently, cheering him on his new game that's coming this summer. So introduce yourself again for those who don't know you.
Hey guys, it's Jay Adler from Drop Dead Interactive, working on Gear Gauntlet, should hopefully be dropping summer 2015.
Whoa.
Nice. And then we got Rise and Grind here with us, making a rare appearance. He's here every now and then, but he's here. Please.
Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Raz, aka Mr. Rezzle Dazzle.
And then we got I got my boss in here who allowed me, who approves the articles that goes up on WeGameHere.com. He's also been doing a thing on the Twitch streams and doing his thing in Battlefield. He's the reason why I won't play it. I'll just watch him play. King Dre.
What's good, y'all? It's King Dre, FTW, CEO of the officialwegamehere.com. If you're looking for some epic Battlefield 4 hardline gameplay, make sure to check out my YouTube channel.
Yes, and he doesn't even need to do a how-to video. He can just play, and you will learn a lot. He's like the Battlefield Wikipedia on YouTube and Twitch. So check out King Dre's channel. Hopefully, I can get it in the description by the time we do the live podcast. And you guys always know where to go. You see all these logos on the screen. It's theofficialwegamehere.com. That's where the easiest way to find his Twitch streams and Battlefield clips. So today there's a couple of things that came up. Jay, you came up with this topic in between about gamers becoming toxic and like in the forums. So what's been going on? I mean, to me it's getting kind of like redundant. But what had sparked this from you?
Yeah, it's something that I've sort of started to really notice, especially sort of getting ready to release a game myself. You sort of tend to look into the forums to find sort of feedback on what you're doing, well, what I'm doing anyway, in terms of Gear Gauntlet and sort of the reception that the game's sort of getting from things like videos that I'm posting around and interviews that I'm doing, trying to sort of get some encouragement to, put that extra effort into the game and things like that. But yeah, I've sort of noticed, for some gamers, they feel very entitled to certain particular things and sort of the comments they leave, and I just feel that it's something that, I don't know, it feels like it's not getting looked at enough. And as I sort of dig deeper into it, you tend to notice it's a growing trend in, a lot of the sort of, multiplayer online games and stuff like that. And I just felt that, for me, it's something that, is a topic that sort of should be discussed a bit more. So that's sort of what sparked that as a potential topic for myself.
I didn't realize I was on mute. All right, so no. So the thing is like I feel like these forums, these blogs, comment section of any YouTube video or any gaming news site is going to be like a war zone, and it doesn't even, the topic doesn't have to even be related to what the argument end up becoming. But speaking, you did mention of reception. Now, how has the reception been on your game? Like, I don't know if you got to check out like the comment section of where it's been posted and.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've sort of decided from now to the run-up of the release of Gear Gauntlet is that I've basically said to myself I'm gonna ban myself from looking at any comments. Purely because I don't want it to sort of take what I'm doing in terms of what I'm trying to get out to the gamers, in terms of the content that I want to give out, because I don't want to feel that I'm going to hold anything back because I'm sort of feeling a bit bitter by certain comments. I want to I've got a vision of what I feel you should put out as a game developer, and then how you should support your game after that. And and I've spoken to you before, when I first came on the show, and I said there's a bit of content that I feel I wanted to bring out just as a thank you to the fans and stuff like that. And I don't want reading certain comments to put me off that. So I've said to Steve that for myself, I feel I just don't want to read any more comments. And it's annoying because you do get the majority of good comments that come from it, because especially you get that encouragement, and you get that people look at the game and they say, yeah, this reminds them of that old school sort of hard style type game, which is the sort of feeling that I'm trying to go for with Gear Gauntlet. So you get a lot of good feedback, but you do get those few that just feel it's almost just rips your soul from you, because you put in all that hard work and the person just dismisses it with words. And being human, these things do sort of take effect on you. And I'm not saying, I'm not one for censorship and saying people shouldn't have an opinion and stuff like that, because I don't want to get into a space where people aren't allowed to say what they feel. But when people just do it just for the sake of it, I just feel that that's a bit wrong. And it's like one of those things where how can you judge a book just by looking at it, or you're just making a comment just because you want to feel like you're a keyboard warrior. It just makes no sense to me. But overall, Gear Gauntlet's been getting a great reception, and especially from people that play it. We had a recent event at Ejects Res a few weeks ago, and almost everyone that played it was addicted to the game. They did not want to put the pad down, and you can tell this by the interviews that took place. We posted quite a few sort of reviews and stuff like that from people that played it, and the reception we got was overwhelming, to be honest. But even things like that, I don't even want those things to sort of make me feel that what we're doing is too great, because then it might give me that confidence, and I start getting inflated head, and again sort of go off course with what we're trying to do there. So at the moment I'm just trying to sort of keep focused, so trying to stay away from all the noise really, and just keep focused on getting the game out there.
Okay. And actually as you see, I haven't dropped a video in a little bit. I've been out of the loop because I've been going through a few things, but I get count on people like Rise and King Dre, who's is also in some of the gaming groups, and we see trolls every day, and we see where the toxic come from, and everybody say and do things to shake things up, So what is your take on how gamers been? I guess we would say people feeling more entitled, whether it be about a game or whether it be about a company, and there's this animosity, this anger when it comes to don't let a console, don't let Microsoft or Sony say we're gonna do this, or this game's getting pushed back. It's gonna be like Hellraiser, so I just don't understand where this all came from.
Yeah, it is really weird, and you was just saying about the whole entitlement thing, and an example I'll use for that is before Microsoft didn't used to give us games for gold, for example, and and they got basically people used to diss them. Oh, why are Xbox not giving us any free games? PlayStation, are they great because they're doing it? Blah blah blah. People forget that if that's a thing that PlayStation again, they don't have to do that. They do it out of their own free will and stuff like that. And you know, then Microsoft obviously started doing it, and then suddenly it was like, okay, you're getting these free games or whatever, and then people every month are like, why are they giving us all these indies? Oh, it's rubbish, blah blah blah, and you know, it's like they're giving you games for free. You know, things that you don't have to pay for, which means that you know you don't have to download them. You can just go about your daily business and have, you know, not have a free game. You don't, you know, no one's forcing it on you. And you know, yes, it's an indie game, but why can an indie game not be a great game? For example, Ori and the Blind Forest is seen as an indie game. Yeah, it's probably better than some of the AAAs that have come out this year. You know, and when people say, oh, why don't they give us the AAA games and stuff like that, but they got to remember that some of these games are still relatively new compared to, you know, the games that PlayStation Plus, that PS Now's giving, PS Plus. So, you know, it's not really a sort of fair comparison, because they've got like quite an extensive library of older games. And they've got, obviously, because the indies jumped on board the PlayStation a lot earlier, so they've also got a whole load of indie titles that they can sort of offer as well. So, you know, but the point is just that, you know, you're getting something for free and you're still complaining about it, and you know, this whole entitlement, you know, and big sort of going on forums and just bashing them for, you know, they're trying to please the gamers, and it just feels like it's like a lose-lose battle no matter what you do, and it's all because, you know, they have this opinion behind, you know, behind the internet, and they can come on and say whatever they want, and you know, there's just no repercussions for it, and you know, like I said, it's just like you don't want to censorship, but at the same time, you feel like it's just sort of getting out of hand at the moment, and so I don't know. I don't know what you could possibly do about it, but for myself, I just felt it was something that, I don't know, people need to talk about more, man. You know, because I think it's just spoiling online multiplayer as well. And for me, you know, I play games nowadays, and I openly go on with mics and stuff like that, but people just, I just think it's ruined, because no one trusts online multiplayer anymore. So now everyone just turns their mics off and stuff like that, and that's all because. You know.
Oh man! Speaking of online multiplayer, Rise, you was with me in that party, right? We was in a party though. Rise, you still there? All right, so he's gone for a minute. No, because I had a moment where I had to like tell somebody off for being a dumbass.
No wonder nobody can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
there it is. Okay, it popped in.
No, Rise, remember we were in that party when I forgot some dude. Please tell me his gamer tag. Where he decided to play us that song.
Oh, that was I don't know his gamer tag. I ain't gonna even put it out like that, but yeah, that was some dumbass shit. I remember.
Okay, so what happened was, let me tell everybody a story. So it was me, Rise and Grind, Darian, and I think it was three of us from the We Game Here that was in the party, and I think before it was Anchorman and three other dudes that was in the party, but I think people slowly started left, and this one kid stayed that I wasn't familiar with, right? But the thing is, you can hear in this party, right, that we're talking, right? You can probably, Jay, I'm pretty sure if you was in a party with us, you can probably tell that the people that in this party are black or a person of color, right? So, just by the way that we're talking, right? So, he obviously knew. So what happens is he waits until I think the last person leaves, and so it's just me, Darian, and Rise, and this kid's in here, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, I got this song. You know, this song is so funny. You guys gotta hear it. Like, okay, like we have to hear it. I was like, okay, sure. Play it. So he's like, yeah. And he makes sure he says this. Oh, I'm not racist or anything like that, but you gotta hear this song. So he plays this song, right? And this song is like, I hate NIGGAR, just nothing but I hate black people, like blatantly. I don't even like if this song was like an independent artist Like, I hate Niggers, like, and he's like playing this, and he's cracking up, and I'm like, and after he stops, I sit there, right, because I'm like, this dude really just played that. So I asked him, I was like,
I love your reaction to it. It's like, I'm not even mad that the song about the song. I'm just mad at the fact that you thought it was okay. Like,
yes.
the fact that you thought that shit was cool.
Yeah, so I tell him, I was like, so you are playing this because, and he was like, oh, well I thought you don't think it's funny, and I'm like, no. And the thing is, I was calm at first, but the more I started to think about it, the more pissed I became. So I'm like, I was like, the thing is, I wasn't, and I told him, like Ryan said, I was like, I'm not mad that the dude made the song. Make whatever song you want. I'm not even mad that the new song is, but I'm mad that he felt necessary that he needed to play it for us. See, I can understand if he was in a party full of people like him, and he played a song and they were laughing about it in the privacy of their own party. Nice, go ahead. But why sit there and force that on me and expect me to hear a laugh with you? And this song is supposed to be making fun of my culture. Like, it's crazy. And I was like, I wanted to like. He left the party before I could start swearing at him. But I was like, I was like, how come he just literally just did that? So.
See, the thing is, you got to think to yourself, like, why did he need to say in the first instance, oh, by the way, I'm not racist?
Yeah, that's usually.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he's setting you up for what he's gonna do, and it's this whole, he would never have played that in the streets, surrounded by a whole bunch of black people. But he thought to himself, do you know what? I've got an idea. There's a song that I know would piss these people off. Let me just play it for them. He wanted to get a reaction, and that's the thing. It's like, it's not the fact that he's probably racist and stuff like that. It's the fact that he wanted to sort of get that reaction out of you guys, and and like I said, he waited till everyone else was out, so he knew that it was just you guys, so it can piss you off. And these are the things that really gets to me, because then you start saying to yourself, okay, I ain't gonna trust anyone else but my friends to be on chat, because you don't want to hear that crap. Do you know what I mean? You got all this other rubbish that you have to deal with in your life, and then you got to deal with this when you're supposed to be doing that one thing you love, which is gaming. And so those are the kind of things where it's just like, these people feel they just get empowered by being behind this anonymous wall of the internet and stuff like that.
So he was a friend of the party, somebody in the party?
He was, whoever was originally in the party, but like you said, the party after time was dwindling down until it became me, Rise, Darian, and this random kid. But I don't know who friend he was. I really don't know. I meant to ask. I tried to search him in the history, but if he's watching this podcast, parental advisory. Fuck you. Okay, if you're watching this podcast, somebody's fooling around a Comcast. He said this thing. He says it's called. It's called Niggers. Bop is a good song. I don't care if you don't like it. Maybe that's him. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's trolling. All right. So we did get a question from Marky Mark in the comments. He says, do you guys feel underwhelmed with this gen so far? For me personally, I have. The only games I've enjoyed were Shadow of Mordor and Sunset Overdrive. What about you guys?
Yeah. It's not a lot of. It's not a big variety yet. I don't know what launch, like console launch, they had a shit ton of exclusive games on either side. But this launch is a little dull. I can say that. This console launch. I actually enjoy Sunset Overdrive personally, and Me Tech, who was it? Me Tech, Anchorman, Darian. We was playing Titanfall yesterday, and that was actually enjoyable. So, I mean, it is. It's a bit dull. I can agree with his statement.
Yeah, me personally, I made a video. I don't know if many people have seen it, but I was like, where I felt like the Xbox 360 had a better launch lineup than the Xbox One in comparison. The thing is, I don't feel like there's enough, and in large part it's because of these damn remasters. Honestly, um, I don't feel like there's enough like games that were game changers. You know what I mean? Dude, I didn't feel anything that came that was immediately like, oh my god, this is next generation. You know, you got Rise and Rome for graphics, you got The Order for graphics. Okay, they were like definitely good. But there's nothing that I'm gonna sit there and that I'm picking up and really playing. Like me and you just recently went back to Rise and started doing the survival mode and realized how fun that was. But as far as consistent releases, no, I think it is underwhelming, and I don't know how long it's going to be like this. And then with
It
the
feel like it feel like both consoles is like reserved. You know, yeah, they like reserving something for a later time for some reason. Like neither one of them came and quite brought it yet. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm not having fun with the games that I do have. I got a huge backlog, but it's just like it feel like it's something missing, and they just waiting to like pull that card. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I'm in two minds about this actually. I listened to two podcasts earlier, one being Crap Gamers, and he was saying how disappointed he was with this gen and stuff like that. And to a degree, I sort of felt like I agreed with him. Similar to some of the things that you were saying. You know, you feel like they haven't really brought back that game that has been that game changer and that sort of big thing that everyone's talking about. But then I listened to Hip Hop Gamers podcast, and he was talking about one developer, the guys that made God of War, and he said, "What is the one thing you want to bring to your next game, or you want to be remembered for in your next game?" And the developer said he wants people to think of the game as being fun, and so to me, this sort of made me sort of think actually, although the games haven't been that one game that everyone has gone, oh my god, the graphics were mind blowing, which you obviously don't necessarily need amazing graphics to have fun and stuff like that. The game doesn't need to necessarily be this memorable, epic storyline, blah blah blah, to be fun. And an example of that, a game that's just giving me like a surprise amount of fun at the moment is Neverwinter. I'm a big MMO fan. I wouldn't say I didn't really get into World of Warcraft, but I've always loved playing Final Fantasy Online. And Neverwinter has just been eating up so much of my time since it's come out. Obviously, I can't dive in as much as I want to because I'm currently working on gig on it. But the time that I do have with it, I'm just sort of engrossed in it. And that game doesn't have fancy graphics. It's okay graphics, I guess. But it's a PC port, so I'm guessing the PC obviously had the amazing spec graphics, and they put something that works for sort of the consoles and things like that. But I'm having fun with it, and I had fun with playing Rise. I had fun playing Titanfall. I had a bit of fun playing Call of Duty, but then I felt like that was just like a subpar Titanfall game. Ori and the Blind, as hard as it was still fun for me. And, although I haven't found that one game where I'm going to go nuts about it, I probably won't find that because, things are just a bit different for me in how I play games, because I can't play games like in one sitting and stuff like that, because I've got the kids that will come into the room, or I've got a wife that wants to watch TV, even though we've got multiple TVs in the house, But the games I have played so far, they have been fun for me. So that's why I say it's a bit of, I can see it from both sides, where people can say it's underwhelming, but at the same time, you've got to ask yourself that question. The games you have been playing, have they been fun? Because if they have been, then they've been doing their job.
No. Well, Titanfall is fun. Rise and Rome, now that we discovered the survival mode, that was actually fun, even though it was frustrating as hell because we couldn't get together for like 2 days. But that was fun. Sunset Overdrive is fun. All right. So yeah, for some of the games there's quite a few games that I did have fun with, but the problem is, right, I have a long library of games, and Jay, you know this. I can only tell you that a few of them that I enjoy because they're fun. You know. What about you, King Dre? But I mean, if it ain't Battlefield, I don't know if it's good to you. But what's
Yeah, I mean, you already know. But yeah, I haven't found a game yet to make me at least attempt to get away from Battlefield. You know, I mean, it is a strong enough addiction playing Battlefield, but I mean, I haven't since launch really. I had the Xbox. I only played Rise, beat that, and then like it was nothing else to really play besides Titanfall. I was looking forward to Titanfall. I'm all into the mechs and I wanted to see how they did it, but there was no customization, no content, and that died quick. Then it's back to Battlefield again. Then I tried the PlayStation, and honestly, I'm not really into. I feel like the PlayStation is more geared to single player type or good story
because
driven.
everybody you play with on Battlefield suck, right? When they play it on that PlayStation, they're not ready for the multiplayer.
I don't think so. I think they mostly play the story mode. That's if you can find them at. But yeah, I agree with that statement that I haven't really come to a game where that interests me, because I don't have anything against Bloodborne. I was trying to try something different because I'm not into that whole farming and doing all this other stuff. And like this game, Bloodborne, it didn't really have any dialogue. I didn't feel like it was any story for me to really follow to get into it. But I watch Jabari play it when he does his live streams or when he posts videos. So I mean, it really wasn't a game for me. So yeah, it's been real or meh, like they like to say it.
Good thing you mentioned Bloodborne, because people got on me for calling Bloodborne at face value overrated, and I went out and spent my hard-earned cash, my hard-earned $63 on Bloodborne. Well, I guess 40. Well, it wasn't exactly $63. GameStop managed to give me $16.80 for the order. Not quite $18, but they managed to give me a little bit back for the order. I bought Bloodborne and say, all right, let me play it, let me give it a try. I bought that was that over the weekend? No, I bought it on Tuesday, I think, and I bought it back on Wednesday. And yeah, it's like I said, the game's overrated. There's no way a game with no real story, no freaking means of where you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it, just gets perfect scores because it's freaking hard. I don't I don't understand. It's like, yes, and the thing is, people will try to go ahead and expose me. Go ahead and look up my PlayStation Now or whatever my PlayStation ID, Kid Nerd Smooth. I don't have not one trophy for the game. I didn't get that. I didn't even get a trophy. I didn't give a damn. I was like, forget it. I don't need a trophy.
Hey, it do sound like you gave up on it like super fast. So.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna bother trying to do an impressions on unboxing or a review. I took my picture on Twitter, show people I bought it. If people who see me online did see me playing it and whatnot, it's not my type of game. I'm not gonna say it sucks, but I can say it's overrated, because if you're gonna give a game critically acclaimed, like a perfect like if you're gonna give a game a 90 average, you're telling me that everybody should pretty much pick this game up.
Yeah,
if it's gonna be a 90 average, that means I can go and pick that game up. You know what I mean? If it's gonna get that high of a score for being but it's a quote unquote like a niche game. So
I agree with what you're saying, and because if I see a game that's got a 90, I'm kind of thinking to myself, yeah, basically the review is saying that this is something that everyone should own.
Yes.
And I at one point tried Dark Souls. I totally forgot this when I said I've never played a Dark Souls game, but I bought one in for £2 in the Steam sale. It must have been Dark Souls 1. And I played it, I think, for 10 minutes. And I just did not like the whole back and forth. I take a swing, I lose my breath or whatever, and then have to run away. And it just felt so slow. And, it just felt like two old people trying to fight kind of thing. And my main thing with Bloodborne is that, I've seen all these articles saying people have completed it in 44 minutes or people have beat it without leveling up and stuff like that. And I just feel like, what kind of game is this where someone can beat the game in 44 minutes? To me, is there no story to the game? Is there no how does I really don't know how it works.
Well, when I played it, it feels like some, because I had live streamed it early, and some areas, shout outs to my Twitch followers, they was telling me, yo, just run past certain areas. You could just run past the enemy and go on to the next part, or except for you can't really pass. I think you could go around the first boss and go to another boss, and you could come back to that boss. So you can really just run through the game. You just need those that thing that he sticks in some stuff. Yeah.
So all bosses are optional.
Well, I didn't get past the first or second boss. When I first played, because remember, this was my first time ever playing a game like this. I was trying to get through it. So I went around him, and I was going to the next boss. But it's just like I guess I was playing the game wrong, because I was actually trying to find the story. I was actually, maybe if I kill this other guy, he'll give me something where I can talk to me or go on. It's really, you're just killing these overgrown, infected people or whatever, and you get some bullets or some vials or some other stuff.
And this is why I can't understand how a game can get a 9, where you got a player that's saying, I'm trying to find a story. I'm trying to find a reason for what's going on. It's, why I'm in this game. It doesn't make no sense to me, because
I blame media bias.
What are you judging the game against? What score? The score that it got? Why did you give it that score? So that's what I don't get.
I think it's probably more of whoever, it was their type of game, and all these like Dark Souls and games like that. Those always, I don't think I've seen a low score for those type of
Lords of the Fallen.
Sure. But I've spoken to PlayStation guys, and they won't, it's not like some people really enjoy farming. That's what they call it, farming. You could create certain type of weapons or whatever, and you kill these sort of enemies over and over and over and over and level up. And
but I do that in MMO. Someone will say something like, "Oh, you need to go get me killed 10 zombies or whatever." Then I go off, kill 10 zombies, and come back and say, "Oh, I need a particular type of item. I need 10 of those. Go and get them." And keep doing it. Or it's like, I need to fight a boss, and then I know that I'm not high enough level, so I have to just go and go slash loads of zombies or whatever to get up to a level and stuff like that. But you've got this storyline as well, but it's helping you along the way, and you're making you feel like, oh, this is why I need to be doing this. But it just doesn't feel like that. You get that from Bloodborne or Dark Souls and games like that.
But the thing about Bloodborne is you get these upgrades of to different type of armor, but that doesn't have, and weapons that doesn't have any new effect. They just look cool.
Yeah.
That's wait a minute. How there's no real sort of upgradability. It's stuff you can get, but it doesn't make you any stronger or weaker, I suppose. But I don't know. But who am I to tell you? I didn't get any far in the game. I gave up on it. So not because it was like I said. I'm not saying the game's bad. I'm just saying the game's overrated. is just really overrated. And the thing is, here's the difference about a game. Like, people, and the thing is, critics, the media are giving the game high praise, but from the community, the gamers, I don't hear much talk to it because this game is not for everybody.
Right.
It's like for example, like if this game was like, let's see. For example, even when Infamous came out, there was like, oh my god, people posting and talking about it. You got that niche of people who's like, okay, this is how you beat this boss and whatnot, but it's not getting that mass attention at least from the community that I've been seeing, that everybody's all hyped about it. People were hyped at the review scores and hyped that it's a new game that come out and it scored high, and so that became used in bragging rights. But I don't know if everybody's going to respond with their wallets. I mean, maybe no. The PlayStation sold like 20 million, so I'm pretty sure it'll at least sell 1 million if it hadn't already. So.
Well, I'll just be curious if one person from the comments or somewhere can just explain the whole theory behind Dark Souls, because I asked a friend who's madly into it, and he just kept saying, "Oh, it's just ridiculously hard," and I was like, "So is that it? That's the reason why I got a 9, because it's hard." Because if that's the case, then Gear Gauntlet's going to get some 10s.
Gear Gauntlet's going to get a 10. Gear Gauntlet is critically acclaimed. It's going to be in the Book of World Records.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know, but there must be something that I'm missing.
And the thing is, the game doesn't even look like. I'm not saying the game is bad looking, but it's not like it's not nothing you haven't seen before. It's not going to be in a game like one of the best looking games. It's not even one of the best looking games that came out last year. It's okay. It looks good, but it's not impossible. Let's say if a fanboy asks the people at From Software, can this be done on an Xbox One, and he says it can only be done on a PlayStation, he's lying through his teeth. But I'm just saying it's nothing special about the game except it being hard. And the thing is that some people, it may not even be difficult. But like I said, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't built for Bloodborne. So go ahead, say whatever you got to say. I was not built for Bloodborne, but I do not think the game is worth the hype. And this is why sometimes it makes me question like the media, and like the gaming journalism. I feel like they select what game's going to be that hit.
Did you read any review scores? Like, did you read the what they said about the game, or did you just look at the score?
No, the crazy thing, Rise. The crazy thing is, Rise. I usually read or watch the video reviews or read the whole thing. As soon as I just look, I seen the number on Bloodborne, and then I just kept looking at Katia. So I was like, I'm not even gonna bother reading it. It doesn't make any sense, because if somebody could tell me, I could ask you, hey, what's Bloodborne about? And you be like, well, shit. Like, and then like, come on, man. Like, what town am I in?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't read up on the game because I knew it was basically Dark Souls, and I knew that it was a game that I didn't like Dark Souls, so I knew I wasn't gonna like this game. But what caught me was in every single gaming site, it got a 9. All the major ones that I'd seen. So that sort of just prompted me to say, okay, why is this game so great? It could be great. Do you know what I mean? I'm not taking away from what the developers have made, because you know what I mean. Everyone makes different things, but it was just really strange that everyone had glowing things to say about it. But from my experience of a Dark Souls type game, I knew that apart from being hard, there wasn't much to it that drew me in, and I like quite a lot of games, so that says a lot, really.
It's funny, like y'all make me want to play the game though now, because that's
what people made me want to do. I bought the game because people made me want to play the game, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna play it. But the thing is, I wasn't impressed, and everybody in the comment section is mad because we're hating on Bloodborne. I'm not hating on Bloodborne. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. Like I said, I can tell you that the game's overrated, but 10 other people's going to tell you it's the greatest game they played all year. So don't get mad at what I say about the game. If you want to hear only good things about Bloodborne, go to GameSpot, go to IGN, or go to your relative close PlayStation friend who will tell you that the game is good and you will feel much better. I'm just one person. These are the people in the comment section. I'm just one person. I'm just telling you how I feel. Like I said, I don't hate the game. I just think the game's overrated. I bought it so I can validate my opinion, and I did it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd still be playing it. I played through the order. I kept the order longer than any of my other friends kept the game. You know what I mean? I didn't trade in the order until 3 days ago. Like, come on, man! I had it for a month, longer than the people commented probably. So,
question though, Kid Smooth.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just rent it?
Oh, the Bloodborne?
No, the order.
Because honestly, the order was the reason why I bought my PlayStation 4 as soon as I did, because I wanted to play it, and it's just and I don't know. I like having the experience of like, all right, I'm gonna get this new game day one. It's like renting because it's not mine. I like having things feeling like mine, and I wanted the order to be mine, even if I was gonna get rid of it then soon after. But I did want it to be mine, so. Eventually, I have to start heading to the renters route because games is becoming expensive. And so, but all right, you know, a thing that hit me, and you know what's crazy? So you know how they announced the new Batman PlayStation, which looks good, by the way. I did write a positive article on that console on the official WeGameHere.com if you haven't checked it out, for those who calling me an Xbot, which I do claim. But I did write a positive article on the new custom PlayStation 4 that they're about to put out in June. But with that, people sneaked out articles about the resolution on Batman, and of course, you know, it's confirmed to be 1080p on the PlayStation, but journalists made it their point that we're unsure what the resolution is on Xbox. When is that going to end? It's like generating arguments right there. Why? Why do that? Just say confirm 1080p on PlayStation. Leave it there. Shut the fuck up. Just leave it there. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to add that in there. And what people don't understand is this is what I want to clear. What people don't understand. And this happened with like Watch Dogs. This happened with plenty of other games. If developers will release the specs on the lead platform, we all know the PlayStation is the lead platform for Batman. They have a partnership with Sony for Batman. Same thing how they had with Destiny. Same thing how they had for Watch Dogs and Grand Theft Auto and NBA 2K. When they talk about the games and when they're showing a game, it's on. You never see gameplay for the opposing platform. You only see it for the lead platform. When they telling you news about the game, is in particular to the lead platform. Like when you hear about Call of Duty, no, they ain't showing you no damn Call of Duty commercial for a PlayStation. It's always going to be on Xbox. When they're talking about, oh yeah, you know, we managed to get, let's say, 1080p on the Xbox, they make sure Xbox is there, 60 frames per second Xbox, you know? So I was like, when they do that, it's like, why do they do that? They generate freaking clickbait and arguments and open this can of worms all over again. And the thing is about the whole resolution thing that bugs me is that this argument should have ended when I want to say when 3 games came out. This argument should have ended. One, it should have ended at launch when Rise of Rome came out because it was still the best looking game on any console. It should have ended when Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man came out, when it was 1080p on both consoles, were the worst looking game on any platform. It should have ended with Assassin's Creed Unity, which is one of the best looking games that's on, and they were running below 1080p on I think all platforms, at least, well, not the PC, but at least on PlayStation and Xbox. And the order is not even 1080p, isn't it like 800p or something like that? It's like, let resolution die, you know. And then the dude, I forgot what article I was reading. The journalist had the nerve to say, well, people are going to be very this will be very disappointing if it's not 1080p. Nigga, how would you know? like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you ask me what was the resolution on any Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 game or the frame rate, I couldn't tell you because I didn't know what it was until this generation started. Honest.
I understand what you mean, and you can look at Gear Gauntlet and someone will be like, it looks like a piece of shit or something like that, but the game is 1080p, 60 frames per second. So, you know, do I get an extra, an extra point for the fact that it's 1080p, 60 frames per second? No, it's as long as it does what it's supposed to do and gives the user a good experience, then it shouldn't really matter what resolution the game necessarily is. But I think with this generation, what has happened is, when you come at someone and say next gen gaming, you're in the future, blah blah. They're obviously going to be thinking to themselves, okay, if you're toting me as being in the future with these new consoles, then I want a future experience in terms of the hardware specs. So the consoles have kind of done it to themselves, if you think about it. People are expecting. Come on, we at least should be on 1080p now, since we've got 1080p TV. Sorry, since we've got 1080p TVs, and you're boasting about these consoles are supposed to be so powerful. So you kind of feel like you should be getting 1080p because we're in that generation. But at the same time, like you're saying, Kids Move, 1080p doesn't necessarily guarantee we're going to get amazing graphics. With Spider-Man, like I said, it was rubbish. And Rise, Son of Rome and The Order, they were not 1080p and they looked amazing. So that shouldn't really be what people are using to judge the visuals. And also, I read an article about why, they were saying that basically they think it's about time consoles jumped on the bandwagon with PCs and allowed people to choose between frame rate and resolution. And have an option to say, okay, do you want your game to be in 60 frames per second? Okay, we might have to dial down some of, the resolution or turn off turn off some of the settings and stuff like that. Because if I was playing Destiny, the reason I don't like Destiny is because it's 30 frames per second. I play Titanfall, I play Call of Duty, I play Evolve. These games are all running at 60 frames per second. Then you try and play Destiny, and it feels so slow. It's like when I went back and played Halo Master Chief Collection. Oh my God, it was like, wow, how the hell did I play this game in such slow frame rate at 30 frames per second? It just felt so fresh and fast playing in 60 frames per second, and I can't play an online shooter in 30 frames per second anymore. It just feels really crap. So that is a game where I would gladly have downgraded the graphics if it meant getting that in 60 frames per second.
I always wonder, like, what happened to dynamic resolution? Remember, Call of Duty had that dynamic resolution where, like, when things on a screen get a little too hectic, it kind of like dials down the resolution a little bit just so it can continue to run
at 60 frames. To
maintain that. Like, I thought that was always a great idea. Like, I thought maybe they would use that for more games. But I think it's just going to always be that way. You got two consoles that launch around the same time with, on the same architect. People got something to compare. And so for those who care about, the both the consoles, they have to compare, like, okay, so the one thing that's missing from this one and this one is that this was not running at at less resolution than the other one. So of course people are going to point that out, and a lot of people figure that's from with the PlayStation having higher specs than what the Xbox have, and I think that people hold on to that a lot. Like, I mean, I don't think people necessarily care that it's that resolution. I think it's just something to kind of tease people about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you've hit it on the nail on the head, really, and it's something that Hip Hop Gamer said as well. And unfortunately, he sort of falls into this category as well, even though he thinks he doesn't. And we fall into this category as well. And that is that everyone has their favorite console, and the media should be, they should be unbiased to the consoles, but they seem to fall mainly to the PlayStation, and that is why we're always going to get these articles, because even within themselves, they're trying to make one console look better, and it's the console that they prefer. I mean, I listen to Podcast Unlocked, and that's an Xbox podcast. Yet, when you listen to Podcast Beyond, the PlayStation version of that, it's like they absolutely would die to to show their faith for the PlayStation. Whereas on Podcasts Unlocked, they say bad things about the Xbox. They call it on its faults.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, wait a minute, on the PlayStation, they never call out its faults. They make it sound like the PlayStation is God. Where on the Xbox, like, I mean, Ryan McAfee had that interview with Phil Spencer, and he was like, "Oh, the PlayStation's a beast." That's not really, sort of supporting the Xbox by calling the competitor a beast.
Right.
And I just feel like a lot of these articles is because they favor one of the consoles, and it seems like a lot of the sites are they all favor the PlayStation at the moment. I mean, I don't know if you saw that from GameSpot that time. They did like a little like segment where they were asking people what consoles to buy or whatever, and everyone was like, I would not buy an Xbox. The PlayStation's the best. The Xbox UI is rubbish. And I've got both consoles, and the PlayStation UI is much more cluttered and weird to use than the Xbox. But maybe I'm just saying that because I prefer the Xbox. I don't know.
I love my PlayStation.
Do you know what I mean?
I love my PlayStation. I mean, I did do a review on like first impressions of the PS4, and it was a bit. I felt like the UI was cluttered, and I still haven't figured out if there's some type of order of when you like download a game, like you could put it in a specific order, because like if you play a game more than the others and you get like 30 other more games installed on it, like does it just push them all down or whatever, and you got to search through it, or you could just use the voice command still.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the share button, it's that button right there does it for me, because I like to share my gameplay, and all I gotta do is just press that button, and I'll just put in the title and the tags, and while I'm playing the game, I can pause the game if let's say I die, and I can send it to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, now Dailymotion. It's just like that feature for me does it, and then now it really puts into perspective why the Xbox doesn't get the positive publicity that it should, because like with the whole headset thing, I'm using the Astro 850s that was for my Xbox, and the only reason it's for the Xbox is because it comes with a chat cable that you need for the Xbox, but you don't need that on the PlayStation. So when you look back and you went and bought an adapter, it's like, damn, like, all right, you charged me an extra $25 just for me to chat online that I'm paying online for, and then also with the headsets, and then it's just like everything seems now to me the Xbox seems clunky to me. Like I was trying to record my gameplay. Sometimes it takes so long for it to buffer or load or whatever. When you say Xbox record that, and it misses what I really wanted to record, and then when you try to snap it, and it'll just buffer, and then I just like, fuck it, I just go back into the game, and then the error message pop up in the middle of the game. It's just like it's starting to get frustrating. So
I think a lot of those problems. Sorry, my bad, Jay. A lot of those problems date back to like the launch of the Xbox. Like I think a lot of the little things people was looking for in the Xbox, they just kind of missed on. Like this whole thing with like people wanted to use the Astro from their 360 to the Xbox One, but then when they introduced that adapter, that really in some ways I think messed more things up than solved issues. I think a lot of people was like, okay, that's it. I can't bear with the Xbox.
See, for me, I've got a wireless headset, so I don't really know about that. And on my 360, I'll be honest, I didn't get anything other than what came with the Xbox, that little rubbishy headset. So I was just too cheap to get a good one. So I missed out on that whole, great gaming headset experience. But I think like what you're saying earlier about the buffering. What Xbox has done is they've made every feature on the Xbox One an application. So basically, whenever something starts up, it's like opening an app kind of thing. So they've gone with that whole app sort of dynamic, similar to like an iPhone, where you just got this device that just holds all these applications and stuff like that. So I think that's why you always get where sometimes it kind of just, it's like it's booting up the application kind of thing, which for me that sometimes gets annoying as well, especially where it can sometimes feel like it goes a bit slow, or it's getting confused, or like when you go to the shop it will load what you last looked at, but then it tries to refresh to a new page or whatever. So it can feel a bit weird, but with PlayStation, the thing that I don't like about it is, as you were saying, I don't have any idea of the order of what the games are. Like, there's no way to pin what you play the most and stuff like that. And also, for some reason, it seems to things you haven't downloaded, it will be up on the main screen with a download button on it. And I don't like that, because it's like, for example, Spotify. It was like in the main section, and I was like, I don't want Spotify. Why would I listen to Spotify on my PlayStation when I've got it on my phone? I've got it on my PC. I'm not going to use it. So why is it even there for me to select? Or when I go to click on the Sky app, when I watch it in my bedroom, I have to go into like some TV sort of section, and it's got all these other TV apps there, and it's like, unless I've downloaded it, I don't want to see it. And on the Xbox, you can have that. It only has things you've downloaded, not things you might download. So things like that on the PlayStation, that's where I say it's clunky, because I don't want to see these things. But yeah, I think with the Xbox, the possibility for the to get better is there, because it's software. These things are applications that can be made quicker. Whether it will or not is, it's in Xbox's hands. And as you were saying about, you talk about, with all these changes that Xbox had to make, I would like to think that, when they decided to go back with, this whole online 24/7 check thing, from what I heard was that they had to change a lot of the internal systems in terms of how it was gonna work and stuff like that. So maybe that might be why a lot of things got scrapped, and they weren't there at the start, and that's why it felt like Xbox came out with less features than the 360 and stuff like that. But as you've seen with these monthly updates, things are coming back, and I've got a preview for the dedicated online chat, so my chat's already been better and stuff like that between parties and things like that. So these consoles, they can update and get better from a software perspective. So let's hope that can make things better. I had a question for Quick Smooth actually. You was talking about the Batman PlayStation. What is it about this model that makes it look nice?
Honestly, it's probably something you can actually make yourself or spray paint yourself, but it's just...
No, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know. It's just that sleek color
That's
that...
silver.
So it's the silver of the actual device.
Yeah,
not the image.
The image is like a shadow black outline across the face plate.
But it's like a sticker that you could stick on yourself.
Well, I hope it's not a damn sticker.
Nah, it wouldn't be a sticker.
I always when people say, "Oh, I need to sell my current version of the device to get the new one," I always do find that a bit weird, because I just feel like you're playing the same. It's gonna play the same games. Like, I don't know. I've never been into that.
I did it. I did that with the COD bundle console. Like, is I mean, the COD console for the Xbox,
Well, that one wasn't the same though, because you came with I guess, an extra terabyte of memory.
it came
Or at
with
least
1
an extra
terabyte.
half gig of memory.
Yeah, if it comes with new features, then yeah, that's fine. But you know,
But doesn't this come with like all the Batmans or something like that?
No.
It's just coming with one Batman.
Yeah, no collection. Yeah.
But the console, I mean, I like customizing. I like my console to be different than just regular.
Yeah. Well, here's a question. But again, I heard from another podcast. I tend to listen to a lot of podcasts when I drive to work. But they were saying, basically, they were talking about if the Xbox came out with another version in a few years, would people be willing to buy it? So say they come out with another Xbox that was 16 gig of RAM, terabyte hard drive, it had the latest graphics card, blah blah blah. Would you be willing to put down another $400 and buy this new machine if it could play all the old games?
I doubt it'd be 400.
Yeah.
But if it was, because
with the latest graphic cards and playing old games, and I think Microsoft would try to milk that, try to put it as high as it possibly can. Probably like,
you probably might as well just
like
put out a new
550.
Xbox.
Yeah, I mean it'll probably be higher, and because they were like, all right, we're giving you all this now, so.
Well, given what he said, I kind of get what you're trying to say, but
yeah, I get him.
I would absolutely buy it. Like,
yeah.
When you say like something like 16 gigs of RAM or something like that, that means it's going to perform better. That's as simple as that. Anytime you get something that can perform better, you're probably going to go with it.
Would you see that
as a waste of money?
Would you see that as the Xbox is resetting? Or just
as long as it's forward and backwards compatible, it has to be forward and backwards compatible, or at least the Xbox. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is correct, but like I could be able to still use like the same controller, same Connect, and like I just want them honestly to come out with a new controller that doesn't need an adapter to use a headset.
So do you think that it would be better if consoles became similar to mobile phones, where they had a new version every maybe 2 years?
Oh damn! I don't think they can survive that.
Nah.
Because the industry itself, all these delays, we would never have a game. We'll go one console without games.
I think it was an article about that recently, right?
I think so. Yeah, because now what developers are saying is, or publishers and stuff like that, saying this whole model with this 8-year cycle and stuff like that, it ain't gonna work anymore, because you've got phones that are getting more and more powerful, but I'll never play a game on a phone. I downloaded a Metroidvania game on a phone, and
I don't like
the lack of haptic feedback is just horrible. I'm pressing the screen and I'm thinking I'm pushing forward, and I just fall off the edge because I jump and then I'm not moving forwards. But anyway, back on track. If you could get a console where it's not going to affect the development of the games, because you're going to be able to play these games, because you have to think to yourself, a PC, some of the PC games are exactly the same as what you're playing on the console, yet the PC specs are a lot higher.
Yeah.
GTA on a PC is like 4K. It looks totally different. So if you could get in, say they brought out, because it's going to be 2 years this year, yeah?
Right.
You can bring out a new model of a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. Would you, and you could get, say you were comparing GTA to what the PlayStation version is and the PC version, would you feel comfortable buying another machine, so trading in your old one to get this newer one, but it would be from the same generation, sort of?
Okay, I think I might, because you know what I mean, because I can't believe I bought another freaking iPhone.
Well, that's what this person said. They said no one ever questions putting down more money for a new iPhone. What they complain about is the bill that you have to pay monthly, or in the gaming sense, the games. So they're saying that are going to be more willing to buy a new console as long as the games that we get are, are good, aren't affected by the new release of a console, and we got the whole backwards compatibility stuff. So I mean that's a question for the comment section as well. Would you be comfortable buying a console every 2 years?
Well,
I mean, you might not buy it every 2 years, but if you had that option.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't really compare a console to a phone as far as
why not? A phone, my phone costs £500.
Yeah, but
more
price wise, all right. But I mean, as far as most people buy phones. Buying an iPhone is a trend. It's a style. It's not. It might do the least out of all these other smartphones, but it's a style. It's a trend. It's like if you have an iPhone, it's like, oh, all right, you have the.
Yeah, but being a style isn't a limitation to the hardware or the software. It's just people's perspective on things, so that can be changed.
And it's mostly everybody. It's like if you have an iPhone, like you are the shit. Like in like any like. Area
but what you're saying right there is the same as me saying, someone likes Kim Kardashian because she's hot right now, because it's a trend.
I mean, as far as like, alright, I'm not gonna buy $500 or $600 console every 2 years, and it's barely outperforming the last one, or if it's I only could play 1 or 2 new games that I can't play on the other one. Having a phone to me is different. It's because buying phones now is just between like Samsung and iPhone. It's just whichever one is. It's like you can do more with a Note or a Galaxy more than you can do on an iPhone, but iPhones will still sell more because.
Okay, well, let's compare the iPhones, yeah, because we've always got the 5S, and then now we've got the 6 and the 6 Super or whatever it's called. Yeah, they all can play the exact same games, yeah. But on say, for example, the newer ones, you got the fingerprint scanning. Or you got ones that are, obviously bigger, which if it was a console, that might be more RAM or something like that. But basically, it's just a newer version, so it's same difference, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's more. It's just having the newest model is what because they come out like every year, so it's like. You get the 6.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
You'll get the 6S.
We changed the perspective of how consoles are,
technology is advancing. So, like, I guess you're saying, with the change of technology, it's hard for the consoles to keep up, right? And so, you're thinking maybe they should go on a faster cycle.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think I don't know if you watched the NVIDIA talk at GDC, but basically they were all about streaming. They got these real big, massive super servers, basically, like this really, really smart super server. And basically, what you do is you buy like a little smart set-top box or whatever, and they're talking about having these things that basically allows you to get AAA games, but you pay for it and it unlocks straight away. You don't have to download it to your local machine or anything. You literally just stream it. Obviously, that's scary because you're paying money to stream something, which means that if the service goes down, you lose your games or whatever. I've been at that on live, but basically, the way technology is going, soon our mobile phones may be our gaming device for a service like this. You might hear Xbox partnering, they've got their own what's it called, Nokia, don't they? So you might say, the Xbox might say, all you need now is a Nokia phone. You connect your Bluetooth your controller up to it, and then it streams your games. because these consoles, it doesn't make any sense anymore because the hardware dies as soon as the console's released. I mean, it's outdated as soon as it's released.
Right.
The consoles that we've got at the moment, look what's inside it. It's outdated.
Right. I get what you're saying. I think that's where PC has it made at, because your parts are upgradable. You know what I mean? I think if console can figure a way to do that, then yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I've got the money to do it. I mean, I have to have a beefy machine to develop my games and stuff like that. But I don't like constantly changing parts. I don't find any fun in it. I don't like doing it. If I want a game, I want a game on a big massive TV, on a chair. I'm crap with mouse and keyboard. Mm-hmm. I can only use mouse and keyboard for MMOs. I can't use it for shooting. I've tried. I used to when I was younger, but I've forgotten how to use the mouse and keyboard to, for Twitch shooting and things like that. So I can't do it. So for me, upgrading the console is definitely not what I think I want to do. I don't want to start swapping out.
What if they provided more options for your console, at launch, instead of there's an Xbox One, and then there's an Xbox One X, and then an Xbox One Triple X.
I'll be honest
those
with you.
pieces, you can pick which one you feel like is going to best fit you. What if they do something like that?
When I heard of the Steam one game being in 720p, other in 1080p, and one in 4K.
This is what I thought the Steam
I mean, it
box
sounds
was
weird,
gonna do.
but when you think about it, you can have games optimized, differently, kind of like they do with graphic cards, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought that the Steam box was going to be the answer to this, but that turned out just to be a total waste of time, really. Or maybe it's going to get better. I don't know. But this whole being able to have these boxes that you could get to your spec but be able to play in the living room and stuff like that, that's my ideal situation, because there are some times where I want the best settings possible on a game, but then there's times where I'm all about just the gameplay because it's that type of game. So depending on what game it is, will for me determine what kind of whether my graphics whore or not. Because something like Evolve, I want that game to look as pretty as it can be. But, playing something like, I don't know, one of these, like Volgar the Viking or whatever, I know that's supposed to be a retro-looking game, so it doesn't need to have that massive graphics power and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I would definitely like the choice of being able to, do things like changing the settings and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was just something that I sort of heard in this podcast, and it sort of sparked that that thought of should consoles either be on a shorter cycle or maybe offer new specs every couple of years, or maybe it just needs to go to a streaming service. I don't know, but.
Oh man, I don't know if I can handle streaming, man.
I don't know why I did. I guess because I've been a console gamer my whole life, but I'd rather just have the hardware sitting in front of me.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna change, but I would definitely say go watch that NVIDIA talk, and that opened my eyes to some things, because when I saw what they were doing, and they were doing it off the Android technology. That's the only thing that sort of made me feel a bit like, wow, not really sure about that, because Android, man, that's just that's not the most secure operating system ever. But what they was showing, and they were talking about these beefy super servers that they've got. You kind of just thought to yourself, this is like some next generation stuff. And they were even, when the guy was talking, everything he was saying made sense. It doesn't make sense to have consoles anymore, and to a consumer, the only reason they want it is because they need to have that physical thing to say, this is mine. But all my games are digital. And I actually got given some games. So I've got Sunset Overdrive on physical. It was given to me. And I have not opened the box because I don't want physical games. And, if there was somewhere I could put it in a machine and turn it digital, I would do that. But I'm not going to open them just because of the fact that they're physical, so I'll probably just leave them and sell them on eBay in 10 years or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm all about technology and the future. So I think that these outdated consoles, it needs to somewhat change because there needs to be a way that we can beef up the graphics if we want to. And I personally wouldn't mind trading in my console every 2 years for a newer model. I do it with my phone. Why not with my console?
You trade? I'll do it.
Yeah, true. All right, so
You converted them. Look,
The
So what
movement
if-
started.
so what about these delays, man? We got Quantum Break, we got Uncharted. What else? Was there anything else that got delayed that I just missed?
Batman. For a
Yeah,
couple
Batman
weeks.
got slightly delayed.
Batman, yeah, like 3 weeks. Yeah. So
I
what
want to
is-
hear from Jay real quick on this one because like for me, I feel like sometimes when developers put a game out, it's like they play Pin and Till on the calendar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just just point at any date and then realize like, oh, we might not be able to make this date and later push it back. So my first question is, how do you go about putting a release date on a game?
Okay. Well, for me and with Gig on it, I basically have to factor in the fact of number one, I go to work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So those times for me are just off limits for development. And then I've got twin daughters that are free,
Right.
2 to 4. So they're just like a handful. Then I've got a wife, who wants help with the kids and wants to watch TV. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got multiple TVs in the house, but she likes to follow me to whatever room I'm in. So if that means I can't get onto the TV to actually because when we create the game obviously on the PC, but we have to deploy it to a dev kit or whatever. So I need that TV to show what I've deployed or whatever and stuff like that. Sometimes she'll just be like, "Oh, I want to watch TV with you." So it's like, okay, I can't, do this right now, blah blah blah. So for myself, I have to factor in my family life, my work life, and basically add extra weeks for contingency. So when we got into the ID Xbox program, I said to myself, okay, realistically, how long would this take if I was working on it full time? Okay, how long would this realistically take for me to do it with all those other things factored in? And then because it was a new thing as well, because making a game on PC by yourself is different from making it for a console, because the games on consoles are expected to work a certain way. So therefore, there's things that we have to ensure in our games because you don't want to get a game that's buggy, otherwise
Right.
you get things like happen like in Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. So for me, I added extra months because there's days where I'm just like, I just want to play some games. That's what this is all about, playing games.
Right.
I don't think a developer is a good developer if they don't like playing games. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're doing it purely from a business perspective, I don't know. I just feel like, how can you be a good cook if you don't like food?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So every now and again, I'll play games, and Kid Smooth sometimes sees me online, and we just be like, oh, let's play Titanfall or something like that. So I got to factor in that. Got to factor in birthdays. Got to factor in me just going insane and needing to step away from it all. Got to factor in going to events and stuff like that. So, I basically just, said to myself, okay, I'm going to give myself like 6 months or something like that. So all that extra time to get everything done. And then you've also got to factor in things like certification because your game's got to pass some kind of test. So, and then you've got to say to yourself, okay, if it fails, okay, what are you going to do? So then you might put it, add an extra month for that as well. So that's sort of the process that I've taken with our game. And that's why I haven't given a specific date for Gear Gauntlet. I've just said it's coming in for the summer because I truly believe that the game will come out in the summer, but I just don't want to give that a specific date. Namely because I don't know exactly what date it will come out on.
See,
And also,
I wish people take more so that approach than dumping a date on it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's just
I mean,
give it a window. Don't give it a full release date.
I think the difference
realize
between an indie game and a AAA game, obviously, is the budget. With a AAA game, you're maybe even more than half of your budget is marketing. So if you've got a massive budget for marketing, you're not going to wait till sort of the game's done or whatever. You're going to start marketing years in advance because you want it to be you want it embedded in someone's head that as soon as this game comes out, I'm buying it. I don't care if the game's crap. People, they just want to brainwash you to buy this game, so to speak. And also, to my knowledge, I think it's to do with things like because when you got publishers, like I don't know, I feel like I suppose it's not up to a gamer, but sometimes it's good to understand the industry, sort of that you're involved in terms of you're buying these games and stuff like that. But when you work for a publisher, which I've got a friend who works for a mobile publisher, and basically it's the publisher that's making all the decisions on the game. So for them, they've obviously got their quarterlies and stuff like that. They've got a certain amount of money that they want coming in a certain period of time, or when they want to get investments and things like that, they got to make all these projections. So they're going to say, yes, game A is going to sell 100,000 copies in January, blah blah blah. So if you give us money, then we're going to do X, Y, Z for you, and that's going to do X, Y, Z, in another quarter and stuff like that. So sometimes they purely make these projections just to investors, and sometimes they don't have any belief that the game's going to come out on that period of time, but they just need to do it. And then you've got things like you've got all these big AAA games like Halo and Call of Duty and Tomb Raider and things like that are coming out. So then you get things like, I believe with Quantum Break, there was just so many games coming out that they were just like, there's no point in making it come out now, because they're not going to see no money. And similar to Gear Gauntlet, I've been told if I release anything after August, my game's going to die because it's going to be AAA season.
Wait. I want to. You said about the Quantum Break. They said you think that they didn't release that because you think they wouldn't see any money.
Yeah, it's too. Think about it like this: if you were making something, would you want to bring it out at the same time as a massive game or a massive product?
Quantum Break though,
more established game.
But Quantum Break is
okay. You say Quantum Break,
yeah.
To a PlayStation person who can get Call of Duty.
Well, but you could get. If they release, I'm just saying. I think Quantum Break would still do respectable, or even.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it will do respectable or not. Yeah.
Compared to Call of Duty, nothing is.
Yeah, but just say this year, because we have to remember, not everyone's got the same amount of money. If you've got $60, which I think that's how much games cost in America,
Yeah.
So you've got $60. This is the kind of maths that people are thinking when they're projecting numbers and stuff like that. They're not thinking, everyone's got mums and dads and blah blah blah. They're just thinking the average person might have $60, and then. So they can buy one game. Which game are they more likely to buy? Quantum Break or Call of Duty? Or Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, those type of games, or Quantum Break?
So, well, yeah, those.
I think Quantum Break would have had a sweet spot if it dropped in August. But I think it wouldn't have made that window, and if it came out anytime after August, it wouldn't have met the sales. Something like with Sunset Overdrive, I think Sunset Overdrive should have came out in like August, September, and I think it would have did better opposed to coming out like a week during that week that it did. Even though it had a week to itself, it did come like a week before like COD and 2 weeks before like Halo and stuff like that. But the thing, yeah, with Quantum Break, I think it would do numbers, but I don't think it would do what they wanted to do. Like, it probably might have like a Sunset Overdrive type of feel, because who's to say Quantum Break is a game for everyone, you know?
Exactly. And also, you have to remember, games usually sell in the first month to 2 months, kind of thing, because everyone wants to be on the servers the same time if it's an online game. You know, everyone wants to do that whole live stream and stuff, you know, be the first channel to go up with the game because they get the most viewers. So no one wants to be the last person to buy a game. So really, you need to sort of get those sales within the first 2 months kind of thing. But if you're like releasing a game and the next month you've got Call of Duty, then for some people, that's like too much money being spent on games. You know, so they're going to say, do you know what? Within this two month period, I'm rather going to get the known game, which I know is going to give me that same experience. Like, even though people say Call of Duty is the same thing again and again and again, but they like it. They don't want it to change, because when things change, then they complain about it and say, why did they remove this? Why did they do this? Or this new thing doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. So that is why Call of Duty will continuously sell, because even though it's the same experience, but it's one that we all love and know. It's like me. I take to my wife, I don't like you giving me random things to eat. I like to eat what I know. You know, like, I'm not an exotic eater and stuff like that. And that's what some people do with their games. They like to get the one that they know. And although Quantum Break sounds really great for Xbox One players, to other people, it's just a game that's not going to come on their system, so they're obviously, you know, going to spend their money on other things and stuff like that. And it's say that was going to be a game to make people buy an Xbox One, you're not going to do it around the time of Call of Duty, are you? You're not going to sort of buy this new console and stuff like that. So I don't know. For me personally, I believe it's because it was too crowded. It was becoming too tight with what they're doing. And from a marketing perspective, Xbox, they're obviously trying to push this whole Halo the Truth stuff. So if that's taking up all the airwaves, are you going to want to start putting other games that you're publishing on there as well and taking focus off Halo?
True, yeah, because I was about to say, they would have had to start advertising for Quantum Break pretty soon if they wanted to, like, you know what I mean? And we weren't seeing anything from it. But I am curious to see what's else going to happen, because right now, November is vacant for first-party games for Xbox so far.
No, good with the Quantum Break.
And then, did they give a date on Rainbow Six or no?
I think I think it's this fall of 2015 that they're saying. But yeah, I suppose because that's a Ubisoft game, so that's a multi-plat, so they're not gonna, they've got no reason to delay that game. But yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's that we've been in here for about an hour and a half. It's about that time to close up shop. I'm not doing quiz with the kid today because I didn't have any questions drawn up, and I'm broke, so I ain't got nothing to give away. But if you do want to get into an easier contest, we are giving away Mortal Kombat X when it comes out, but you have to go to theofficialwegamehere.com and upload your current Xbox or PlayStation background. Hopefully it's a custom, because if it's not, it won't get any votes. But you upload it to the official WeGameHere.com, enter a chance in, and whoever gets the most votes wins Mortal Kombat 10. I think we stopped the uploading on the 9th, or the upload ends on the 9th, or we announce a winner on the 9th. I forgot, but whatever. After the 9th, it stops. No, I announced the winner. You have until the 9th. Because, I will. You have actually until the day I announce, but it's just that the later you upload it, the less chance you win. But we are giving away Mortal Kombat. It's free. It's easy to register at the official WeGameHere.com. It's really like I can do a how-to vid. I think I did a how-to vid, but just do it. Support. Win yourself a free game. And after this, we're giving away another game next month, and I'll announce that after this event is over. But also to visit the official WeGameHere.com to learn more about Jay's game, Gear Gauntlet. I do have a write-up, a preview on that game, so please check it out. We got the new trailer that they got for Xbox released too. We have that on the page. And then before we go, do anybody have any shout-outs or any closing words or anything that they want to say before we go?
I'll just say, for more information on Gear Gauntlet, you can go to the Facebook page, so facebook.com/Gear Gauntlet Official. Then we've also got the Drop Dead Interactive Facebook page, so again, facebook.com/Drop Dead Interactive. Find us on Twitter, at DropDeadInt, or you can find myself on Twitter at Bites of Chicken. And just keep looking out for Gear Gauntlet coming this summer.
True. I want to shout out my boy King Carter. He's a Twitch live streamer. His gamer tag or user name is King Carter III89. So he's a good friend of mine. Shout out to him. Make sure you go check him out on Twitch. He does live streaming. He is doing a giveaway, I think, when he reaches 100 subs. So this is the easiest ways to win free stuff, just by saying what's up, joining his live stream and saying what's up. I'm also want to shout out Fame ENT. We doing on air Cowboys Nation. I know it's not a lot of Cowboys fans out there because we're both loved and hated. So make sure you look out for that. I think he's uploading it tomorrow. And my last shout out is to the whole We Game Here family. This was a movement. This is more of a family coming together and doing big things for the community. I know a lot of people are tired of being subjected to drama-filled videos and just all the drama that's going around lately on the internet. So you can join the Facebook group, join the website, and make sure you follow all the members that's on there. And that's it for me.
And I want to give a big shout out to the biggest FN that I know. That's Darian is King. Shout out to you. It's my big homie. FN till he die. He gonna get me for that one. Nah, I ain't got no more shout outs, but the whole We Game Here family, I love being a part of this. So, shout out to Jay, by the way, too. Gear Gauntlet. Yeah, I can't wait to play that game. I'm definitely buying that without a doubt. But,
yeah, I actually forgot to say, now that we're coming up to sort of the release and stuff like that in a few months, we actually want to start live streaming. So at some point, might be grabbing one of you guys to possibly do one of the live streams on one of your channels or something like that.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Hey, I'm willing to do it.
All right. So, but you guys know where to go for one of the best podcasts on YouTube. You go to this channel here, Let's Talk Games, to learn more about new games, to talk about games that we like and don't like. And if we piss you off, we don't mean to. But with that being said,
Or do we?
well, I don't. But with that being said, just keep it locked. Look out for more content coming. And keep posted and updated on the officialwegamehere.com. Make sure you enter and try to win that Mortal Kombat because that's coming like in a week from now. But other than that, I have nothing else to say. But Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out.